Yeah.
Hi, everybody. We're back. So we're live now, and I hope we're live. We should be able to. Let's see. We should be able to hear me a lot better today. Hopefully, all of that stuff is resolved. And Dawn, could you throw some music for us that's like kind of soft and like it's nighttime, things are calming down for the evening after this like scary day. But I wanted to jump in before we start. It's only our 4th episode, and I wanted to ask you all to introduce yourselves again. Just tell us who you are and what you play. And for any new viewers here, whether you are live with us on Twitch or whether you are watching on YouTube, welcome to the show. We are super excited to have you here. My name is Emma, and I am the Jamie is also good. I have a number of names that I go by, my role here is the Game Master, the GM. And so I am leading all of these lovely people through a game of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and we are with the Greatest Guardians Gaming Network. I also play the role of Remy, who is the witch boy that the stream is named after, or that this show is named after. So, with that, let's go to anyone else who would like to jump in and introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Jenna, she, her, and I play the half-elf Fate Witch, Li Shijia.
Thank you very much. Jenna and I have played, what was it, like, would you say like 2-3 years, like in another group, and then that group kind of dissolved a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were rounding on like 1.5 years, and then
Okay.
schedules, you know?
Schedules are tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Anybody else?
My name's Gwen, and I play the fighter Hannah Lyer, who
Hi, I'm Michaela.
Oh.
I will be playing.
Hang on,
go
wait.
for it. I believe in you, Michaela.
Michaela, go.
Okay, hi, I'm Michaela. I will be playing Sogapa. She's a halfling vampire sorceress. Jolly of attitude, but dark of magic.
Thank you. Gwen, go ahead.
Fantastic. Well, my name's Gwen, she, her, and I play Hannah Lyer, the fighter who, I guess just went off into the woods for a couple sessions.
It's true.
Lost her favorite boot, found a colony of muskrats, and she took one of the ones she saved home with her. It's been a very eventful couple weeks.
I'm so excited.
Wait, okay, is Gwen talking?
Yeah, are you not able to hear Gwen?
I can't hear anything that Gwen is saying.
Oh no!
Oh
There's
no.
been dead space for me.
Oh.
That is bizarre because we can all hear her.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to figure that out. Maybe that's on your end, Gwen. Maybe that's on your end, Michaela. But either of you take a look at it. Let's see if we can troubleshoot.
You might be able to fix it if you right-click my name and unclick mute.
Gwen says you might be able to fix it if you right-click her name and then click on mute.
Yeah, I guess it
Thank
doesn't
you
really help.
for telling me.
Shut up, Michaela.
Right click
Didn't
on
really
her name.
think.
So I have her user volume up to the top, and the mute box is not checked.
Amazing.
Ooh.
Okay.
Mystery.
You
I'll
missed a
drop
session
in
and you're
come
dead to
back
her.
Yeah, you're
I
out.
missed
Sorry.
questions, so somebody else actually has to choose to kill me off too.
Oh no.
No, we can't kill
With Craig's
you.
rolls, you'll live forever.
So I'm gonna
Fantastic.
ask both of you to leave the call and then come back in.
Cool. I want to jump
Hold
in
on,
at that
time
real
out.
quick and say I know how to move things around. So if I change my name to come after Mike's,
Ooh.
because it's listed in order of alphabetical, so I'm going to just call myself something. Give me a moment, and
Sounds
I
good.
will.
Also, any viewers, if you see that we've got a current stream of some sound going on, that is because we're using Sirenscape, which is a super cool program. You should check them out. They're pretty neat, and they have some great sound if you like incorporating that in your games. Dawn is our DJ for the stream. Dawn, with that, will you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
Yes, absolutely. Hi, I'm Don. Tonight I will be playing the role of Krieg Fogcrusher, the up-and-coming swashbuckler kobold. He's been through the ringer a little bit. He is super glad that the possibility of our frontline fighter is nearby. And I will also be serving as audiovisual, as Emma said. So if you're in chat, please give me a little peep if I'm ever too loud or too quiet.
Nice. Go for it, Mike.
Hi, my name is Mike. Yeah, my name is Mike. I play him. I play Shaija, the human summoner, and her devout phantom Hem.
Thank you very much. Let's test this sound because I would love for Gwen and Michaela to be able to hear each other.
I mean, I was just gonna keep it a surprise until, everything actually started.
Yay! Okay, Michaela, you can hear?
Yes, yay! And I can see her now, which I couldn't do
Good.
before. So really all around
that would have been.
Okay.
Oh no.
Well, I think did we introduce Michaela?
Yes.
Yes.
I accidentally interrupted Gwen, I
That's
think,
right.
because I had no idea she was talking. So sorry.
Nice.
Yeah, it's yours. Yours was brilliant. I'm going to take second fiddle.
Thank you all. I'm excited. For today, I would like to welcome you back to the world of Galesrian on the continent of Sagagesa, near the city of Baikisi, in the village of Bungai. And all of you have arrived. You have spent some time celebrating the new witch boy who was the first boy ever to be born a witch. And then some stuff went down. You all ran off into the forest because there was a clockwork spy spying on the group. You defeated the first spy. Gwen ran off after the second spy. Hannah Lyer ran off after the second spy. And then we ended up with a little bit of a tussle that got pretty scary for Krieg. And there was a ranger that emerged from the woods, attacked the group, attempting to kidnap Remy, our witch boy. Thanks to Shaija, Krieg was healed, and the ranger and her companion were stopped. They returned back to Haven, this home of the witches in the Southern Coven in Bungai, and they find that there's another ranger and another set of his companions. They're trying to take the boy, trying to find the boy. We had more combat. Krieg went down. And then we ended up with a group of witches emerging from the woods, chanting hexes and incantations at these rangers and scaring them off. You now end up back at Haven. It's time to rest. And before you can close your eyes, I actually would like to go over to, you know what? Let's go to Gwen for Hannah first. Hannah?
I am probably singing
Go
a
ahead.
very happy tune as I'm wandering back into Haven. I think I'd maybe lost track in Clockwork Spy. But it's been a very long day. I ended up sacrificing my shoe to make a home for the rest of the muskrats, but this teen muskrat decided to come with me. Wanted to break on to a new adventure.
I
and,
actually would like to interrupt you if you don't mind.
Oh, that sounds better.
Because you didn't end up losing sight of the Clockwork Spy.
I just assumed incompetence, but I'm very glad to hear that.
So, as you're running through the woods, you do lose sight of the spy momentarily. And just as you think you are about to completely have no way of finding this spy again, this little ball with gears flying around in the sky with a gem in the middle, you think you've lost it, you're about ready to give up and head back. And the spy reappears from the woods and begins to land on a tree stump in front of you.
I'm gonna like take a sec.
Say that again for us if you wouldn't mind. You're gonna take a second? Looks like we may have lost Gwen for a sec. This clockwork spy lands on the tree stump in front of Hannah. As we return back to, let's go to the rest of the group for now until we get Gwen back. Oh. There we go, yay! Hi. This clockwork spy lands in front of you. You're okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it lands on a tree stump.
I would like...
Go ahead.
I would like to approach it very confusedly. You know, I've been chasing this thing around, and... Why now?
Bing! 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 And it starts to get faster. Bing! 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 Can you please give me a reflex save? Or you can give me a crafting or thievery check to disable it. So reflex, thievery, or crafting.
Let me do a reflex save.
Okay.
Maybe. Everything's freezing on me.
You're good. We can still see you and hear you.
There we are. Reflex save. 11.
11. Let's roll some damage.
Fantastic.
So as you approach this spy, it begins beeping faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, and this pinging sound is getting slightly louder as it speeds up.
I wonder what that means.
The clockwork spy, then, as you approach it, much like the first time that you saw one of these, it does explode. So here's what happens. The clockwork spy is reduced to 0 hit points, and you're going to take 1d10 piercing damage. Max damage.
Oh, okay.
Okay. 10 piercing damage. How are you on health?
I have 13 still left.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm here to be tanky.
Good stuff. I think Krieg needs a little of that. So our clockwork spy blows up, and you notice something beneath it. Can you hear me okay?
I'm gonna pull some of the little shrapnel out from my chest and my arm. I'm like, again? My favorite shirt. It's never gonna survive. What is this? I'm gonna go look at this.
And sitting on the tree stump, just below where the clockwork spy sat, is a small pendant or pin of some sort. And it appears to be a cloud. Designed into the pin is a cloud with lightning striking a flower below.
I bet Sagafa would like this. This would make a good gift.
And there you are. I'm assuming you're going to make your way back to the group at some point soon?
Yeah, I should probably make a survival check to make sure I know what direction I'm going.
Okay.
Oh no, I
Uh-oh.
should not have made a survival check.
14?
Oh, 14.
You're okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think you'll need a moment to just kind of reorient yourself, look around, but you're able to find where you came from, more or less, following the path that you came, even though it's not really a set path. You're able to work your way back. And on your way, you do encounter a family of muskrats, and you are able to make friends with one of them. And can you give me animal handling?
Do we
You know
have
what?
that?
That's actually not a skill. Never mind. However, you can give me nature, I believe it is.
Ooh,
For Pathfinder.
this is where I get rabies. I got 9.
Okay. It approaches you, sniffs, runs off into the woods.
Okay, I can live with this. I'm not gonna take it personally.
And eventually you arrive back at Haven, where there's quite a commotion around. All of you. You are aware that the date is the 16th of Breeze. And for those of you who are watching the stream, our calendar for the game is presented up on the stream's screen. So you should be able to see where we're at. It is currently a full moon. We have a beautiful bright blue moon that is shining in the night sky and emitting this bluish light all across the night landscape. And Gwen, as you approach, everyone who's at Haven is in some sort of heightened state of shock or trauma, or there is just a great deal of fear and crying, and it seems like a very tense, scary situation that you've walked into. There are people lying on the ground, being treated by herbalists. There are women who have gashes along the side of their body. There are some women who have bite marks in Haven. And in general, it looks as if this location has been attacked. What are all of you doing at this moment?
Shaija immediately sees people being helped by herbalists, and she wants to go and try to help out. In her mind, she thinks she's this great herbalist and healer person, but she comes from a very small village, limited supply of stuff. So this is actually an opportunity for her to learn something from maybe some more experts in Sagagesa.
Absolutely. What would you like to roll? Would you like to give us a nature check? Or a medicine check?
Yeah, it'd be nature, because I've got nature's medicine, which allows you to use if you're in like a environment where there are fresh herbs, for example. There's a small bonus, but I'm just gonna use my nature skill. And she is terrible. Like, she's like in a rush. She comes over, and you can see that she wants to help out, but she's just kind of in people's way. And she's asking around, and they're like, "Oh no, go over there." And she just kind of gets the runaround. And when she does help, she applies the wrong ointment.
After some time, maybe 3 or 4 witches that you approach, you ask how you can help, and the first 2 witches say, "Oh, thank you, but I'm all right. If you could go see to the other witches, they may need help." And you walk over to another witch who just looks at you and she says, "Excuse me, I'm very busy. Can I help you?"
Yes,
Also, Michaela, can you mute for us? Thanks.
Yes, I believe I can be of some help. I've even brought my own herbs that I can help patch some people up.
Oh, fantastic! It's wonderful to have another hand here. Here, if you wouldn't mind taking a look at this young lady right here, that would be of great assistance for me. And she steps away for a moment, and there's a woman who is around 17 or 18 years old, very young, a young teen, or not young, but a teenager, and she is okay. She's stable, but she has some wounds that are bleeding quite a bit.
Oof, that's a serious gash you got there, dear. And she flusteredly pulls herbs from her bag, and maybe picks the wrong one that causes a reaction. And she's like,
ow.
Sorry, what caused that? And then she's like,
I don't know. It just really stung. That really hurt. It's okay. You can try again. If you would like to try again now, you can roll nature a second time. No bonuses, but give me another roll.
I would actually posit that maybe instead of doing a nature check, maybe what I do is a diplomacy check to go ask one of the other healers for some herbs and be like, I tried to apply these herbs and it just caused a bad reaction. Is there anything as maybe a learning opportunity and get some guidance?
Yeah. So you step away, and would you want to approach the same witch that you spoke with or a different witch?
The one who was kind enough to tell me to help.
Okay.
I got a 16 on that diplomacy.
And she turns back and she says, "Oh, dear, I wish that I could help you, but she is at this point. I have moved on. However, Lulua, excuse me," and the Hawaiian woman, at least she appears to be
blue-skinned.
Right, blue-skinned. She has the kind of the garb of someone from Hawaii, and she approaches. She says, "Oh, hello. Yes, I'm happy to help." And she puts her hand on your shoulder, walks you over, and she says, "Oh, yes, this herb. It is an effective herb, dear, but it does cause a painful reaction, and we don't need to use this one to get the same results." And so she takes kind of a mortar and pestle, and she reaches into her herbalist pack and puts in some other leaves, grinds it up, and grinds it up into a paste with some other substance, and then hands it to you. And then she looks at you expectantly.
So she just, thank you, Lulania, I believe you're...
Lulua, yes, Lulua Ina.
Yeah, Lulua Ina, thank you. And then she applies it to the poor teenager's wounds.
And she thanks you. She says, "Oh, wow, it's so much cooler, thank you." And Lulua Ina steps in, says, "I actually would like to speak with your group at some point, either tonight or tomorrow morning after you've all rested. I believe the elders wish to put a task to me, and I would like to. I'd like you to be involved in that as well. But for now, I'll go ahead and work with this young woman. Thank you so much for helping. We very much appreciate you. Yes, thank you. What was your name?"
My name's Shaija again. Nice to meet you, Lulua.
Thank you, yes. Well, have a wonderful night. What are Lishijia, Krieg, and Sagafa doing at this time?
Before I say my piece, we do have a question from the chat. On the 16th of Dust, there is a red number 3. Do we know what that is?
That's a really good question. And it's the current month is Breeze. However, on the 16th of Breeze, that's those 3 red, that number 3 means that I have 3 notes in for the date. And those 3 notes are how I'm tracking which episodes happen on which day. So we currently have 3 episodes for the 16th of Breeze. And I can actually, if y'all want, if you would like to join the Discord, I can release those episode notes as well. And we can even make this calendar a little more interactive somehow, if y'all do want to follow along. So, cool. Good question. Krieg, what are you doing?
Krieg, so little housekeeping thing. I found out that my HP should not have been that low. My max should not have been 10, a swashbuckler. I, in fact, have a max of 16, and with a combination of Shaija and some of the Coven's magics, Krieg is looking a whole lot better, but he's a little bit shell-shocked a bit, I guess. He's going to be spending some time going around to any town guards that he sees to if you're going to engage these in combat, you need to make sure you duck out of the way before doing the final blow, as they have an explosive effect. And so I'm looking to maybe looking around to find people with spears, people with reach weapons, telling ranged archer guards or whatever. He's a grumpy little boy right now, so he's going around and trying to pass on lessons he would have liked to have had. So that's what he's doing.
Lishija?
Real quick, has Krieg left the pot?
Oh, you know what? I was so happy that I had HP that I forgot that. Last episode, Lishija let me take a ride in her walking cauldron. So I think you made it to where I could control it a little bit, correct?
Yes, it was like it's a horse now.
Okay, and it'll give him a little bit of height too. So I think he's standing in it, both hands on the brim of it, and he is kind of like maneuvering it around. So he'll walk up to. I think it has the exact same move speed as me, so like it's not slowing me down at all, and it's an opportunity to have cover. So he's definitely riding around and telling all these guards people while standing in the cauldron. Yeah, good catch.
And you
real quick, every minute or here, so you hear it as the cauldron sucks some of the blood from you and it absorbs into the iron.
I forgot about that too. Okay. So he's looking pretty cleaned up by the time he finishes his rounds going around the area. And would it clean up the muck and mud too, or just blood? Is it just a bloodthirsty cauldron?
It seems like it only wants the blood.
Okay, lovely. Okay. So he'll stay in it. He'll marvel at it, and as long as it's not latching onto his wounds and trying to draw out more blood than is just idly standing there, I think Krieg is intrigued by this magic, but he's only as disturbed as he can be in a world of this.
And if I could jump in on that too, this is just to remind everybody, this is a cauldron that was grown out of the soil. This is a cauldron that grew out of the seed that was planted in the Witch's Haven. And so, it's a magically naturally occurring phenomenon. And it is made of wood, right? So this is a very smooth, sleek wood that the blood seems to be seeping into the grains. It's really kind of cool, but also creepy. And for all of our listeners who are like, wait, why is Krieg in a cauldron? Krieg, at the end of the last episode, was super exhausted, jumped in the cauldron for help, I think Lishigia may have invited him into the cauldron, which is a walking cauldron that follows her where she goes, and now Krieg has control over this. Relative control.
Relative control, and when things get bad, he's going to definitely duck below the surface and protect himself that way.
Pew! Sorry. So we end up with Krieg walking around to different people who may look to be more official. And you will find there is one very grumpy-looking halfling. And he is trying to get statements from people. He's dressed in what appear to be, like, fighter's garb. He's wearing a medium armor, leather armor across on his upper body. Oh, we lost Gwen for a sec. He's wearing a medium armor, leather armor. He also has a ponytail that's slicked back to the back of his head. He has a short sword of equitable size on his body. He is a halfling, and so his short sword is what a short sword would be for a halfling. And he looks at you and just says, yes, did you have any advice? It seems as if you're going around and speaking to people, to my men, asking them, or telling them what to look out for. May I take your statement, please? He's like very gruff, kind of grumpy.
Me?
Oh, yes, kobold fellow.
Yes, hi.
Yes,
I'm
hello.
Krieg Fog Crusher, and he's going to reach out and around the cauldron to shake the halfling's hand.
Ah, yes, a fighter like myself. Back in the day when I was younger, I used to spend all my days out in the forest looking for I digress. What was it that you wanted to share with me?
Yes, fighting these things we ran into in the forest, you're going to need to keep some distance. So if you have any sort of melee weapon that can give you a little bit of distance, or if you're, and I'm looking at the fellow, if you have any ranged weapons, those work too, but you do not want to get caught in the blast of these things. And I show, like, I kind of stand on my tiptoes, and I'm showing all the holes from basically the frag grenade that went off, all the damage that was done to Krieg, and the slashes.
Of course. Who wouldn't look? And he starts writing feverishly. Yes. Oh, and what else? What other advice did you have, if any?
I don't recall any of the knowledge checks we did regarding any sort of damage resistance or anything they had. So I think he's just going to leave it at that. I'm afraid that's all I know. I don't know. I didn't get the chance to study these things. We were out protecting the boy, the witch boy. Maybe you've heard of him.
Oh yes, a town treasure.
Cool. Yeah. He was in danger, so once we finished there, we had to deal with the people that they were with. So watch out. Just watch out.
Thank you, sir. And he turns away.
I didn't get your name. Elder Fighter.
Yes, making me come up with a name on the spot. Yes, it's very.
I'm sorry.
Exciting. No, you're fine. Fantasy halfling names. I always go to a name generator.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Flinner.
Flinner, it's nice to meet you. Again, Krieg Fog Crusher, and if there's anything I or my traveling companions can do to help, say the word. But please, you've clearly seen many battles. I would hate for you to fall without proper knowledge. So.
Oh yes, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
He puts one reptilian thumb up, and he kind of giddy up on the cauldron.
Thank you. Sagafa and Lishigia, what are you doing at this point in time? And you can also just, what's on your mind? What are you guys doing at the moment?
I know Sagafa is probably thinking about how there might be more out there. If not more bad guys, then at least maybe some more spies. So I think her instinct is to kind of do a little scout around the witches' kind of complex.
Sounds good.
To just make sure that there's nobody too close.
Give me either survival or perception. Would work.
I don't think it matters which one, so we'll go survival. Okay, a 17 for me. A 17 for me.
You are fairly certain that there is nothing else coming tonight, or at least right now. It seems fairly safe, and also the village watch, which consists of this one-man Flinner, with just the a ragtag group of village protectors. There are probably a shopkeeper here, a father here, a young man here and there. Like it's very much ragtag. Like these are the people who got together and said, "We're the neighborhood watch. We're going to keep an eye out for our home." And so they are hanging out around Haven, and they are watching as well. But you don't see anything that seems concerning at the moment.
All right, that's good news. Then in that case, I think did I notice Hannah come back?
I think fairly soon, yes. We'll say yeah. You notice her come back.
While I was kind of doing a loop. Okay, then I'm gonna say hello to Hannah and see what happened with her. Try to catch up a little bit.
I mean, I got slightly exploded again. You know how it is in the woods. Saga Gaze is a lot more explosive than I thought it was going to be. Oh, can you not hear
We're
me
having
again?
technical issues.
Oh no!
Always.
She may be having difficulties.
So Saga Gesa she came over and she said Saga Gesa is a lot more explosive than I expected it would be.
Huh. I'm gonna go ahead and laugh at that, and maybe I'll just whack her up into Haven and tell her what happened with us while she was off making friends with muskrats. I assume she told me that she made good friends with muskrats.
Cool. What about Lucia?
I think there was like a brief moment where I considered doing medicine help, but then I remembered my medicinal focus is largely in identifying poisons and not treating wounds. So I opted out of that, and instead I kind of wanted to ask the elder if they had a library of sorts, but it felt inappropriate. So instead I'm helping doing head counts.
Okay. The elder woman sees you kind of checking in on different rooms. The elder witch, the one who welcomed you into the celebration, she walks up and she says, "Excuse me, sister. Are you looking for something? Can I help you?"
Oh, I was only hoping to help with attendance, but do you happen to have a library we could look into at a later time, perhaps when things have settled down?
Oh, of course. The finding of knowledge is quite important, and especially in times like this. But yes, we have. I believe at the beginning of the celebration, we at least had 33 witches check in with the witch boy and provide their gifts. I have started to count as well. I've counted 15 of us are here and alive and well. If you wouldn't mind counting the remainder, that would be quite wonderful. Thank you for taking that off my hands.
Oh, of course, it is no problem. These folks in the corner, I take my fan and I like gesture towards like this weird old man who's just kind of hanging around and all these other folks. It appears they're not doing much. Should I chase them off for you?
Oh, are you referring to the village watch?
Well, there's not much to watch for at this moment.
Well, I would prefer that they stay here just to keep an eye on the surrounding area, if that's okay with you. Yes, that's what they will be doing. Though I do appreciate your concern, I assure you they mean no harm.
Whatever you say, sister.
And with that, she just kind of nods, a little confused, but she nods and she begins to walk away, and then she turns and then says, "Also, our library is in the prayer room. There's a small shelf with books that you could take a look at, and if you so needed, you could check one out as long as you promised to return it within a few days. That would be fine. Yes."
Oh, how much is the rental?
Oh, it's entirely free as long as you are here as long as you are a sister, of course, of our coven, which you are. You are a witch yourself.
I look at her strangely, like it's a really weird concept for her to be giving things out for free.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Are things normally just handed out as such?
Oh, I guess why wouldn't they be?
Something as valuable as knowledge, I would understand it would come under the guise of would be under a loan of some sort, would it not?
Oh, my dear. Something as valuable as knowledge should not be kept from those who cannot pay. And she turns and she walks away.
Weird place, but okay. Yeah.
Shija dislikes that.
What do you mean you don't capitalize on your knowledge?
At one point, later in the night, after things have calmed down just a little bit, a group of no, not a group. Lulua Ina finds all of you together. This witch who's wearing the floral, the leis, and the beautiful dress that she had on from the party. She approaches you and she says, "Oh, I was told that I should bring you these items should you need them." And she hands you 3 minor healing potions for the group. She hands you 1 tent. It is a 4-person tent. And she then says, "If you need another tent, I'm sure we can come up with another." And on that note, I do have bedrolls available for anyone who needs them. We'll make sure that, you know, what you use tonight, you can just take with you in the morning when you set out, as I believe you agreed to head to the Whispering Marshes.
Not to be that player, but the 2 small creatures in the party, would they count against the 4?
No, you're one person. The 2 of you.
I mean,
yeah, you can do 2 halfling-sized people in one. Yeah, you can double up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just have to share a bedroll, you know? You have to, like, it's sleepover all the time.
We'll be taking watches and stuff, too, so...
Yeah.
And I'll always have the cauldron to sleep in.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Hannah would volunteer for cuddles if those were down.
Well, thank you so much, Lohua. It's very kind of you to give us these. I wish that we could do more for you in return.
And as you say this, she says, "Oh, thank you. It's really no." And then she's cut off as two older people, a man and a woman, along with they're wheeling a woman in what looks to be like a wooden wheelchair of sorts, and they wheel her into Haven. The older man shouts, "My boy, where is my boy? Where is my boy?" And he's searching around and looking frantically. And Remy runs up to the man and gives the man a hug. And then the older man kneels down and puts his hands on his shoulders and says, "Remy, what happened? Are you well?" And he looks to the adults, which are all of you. And he says, "Can you explain what's happening? Why is my grandchild out here in the woods all alone? Why has he been attacked? Please, I must know. I must know this information."
First of all, rest assured, sir, your grandson is not alone. He is in the very skilled care of the Southern Coven here. As of what the issue is, with fame comes a certain level of notoriety, and there is no exception for your grandson.
He says, "I suppose, and who are you?"
There's a split second where I look annoyed because I feel like he should introduce himself first, but instead I put a hand on my stomach and I do a half bow. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am Lishija, Beltress Witch.
Lishija is...
And you are...
Why, yes, of course. My name is Bertrand. I am I'm the grandfather of Remy, and this is my wife, Rose, and our daughter, Remy's mother, Violet.
These people are just with him?
Yeah, and Remy actually takes a moment after hugging his grandfather, and he goes to kind of step up into his mother's wheelchair, and he gives her a quick hug. And then kind of, he steps up off to the side of her wheelchair and gives her a hug, and then steps away for a moment.
Shaija is gonna go up to Bertrand and say, "Nice to meet you, my name's Shaija. I can't tell you much about the people that were after your grandson, but I can tell you they were elven folk. One of them's name was Reese. And we did try to inspect to see if we could identify who they were, and all we saw was a symbol of a ranger. It had a wolf head and a gecko's tail. I can't recall it. Does anybody else recall any other details about the folks who tried to kidnap Remy?"
May I see this symbol?
Do I?
Oh, I found a symbol. It looks like a pin. It sort of reminded me of Sagafa's hat, so I was going to give it to her.
Yes, my friend Gwen has something over here. Gwen, please show the old man.
Yeah, I pull out the pin with the lightning bolt, the flower, and the cloud. I'm like, I mean, I think it's rather fetching, but it did take an explosion to get it.
As Hannah hands the pin over, the old man takes a look and says, "Why, I've never seen anything quite like this in my lifetime. It's quite foreboding, don't you think?" And then he hands it back to you. Says, was there another symbol?
Gwen must have gotten that off of one of the clockwork things. There was another symbol on one of the elves. I didn't pick it up myself, for my friend Krieg here was in dire danger, and I rushed to his aid. I didn't know what happened after that. I just caught a glance of it.
You said that it was a gecko, a wolf. This is what it looked like?
Yes, it definitely had a wolf's head, and it had a gecko tail.
Well, this sounds to me like it might be the symbol of the Wilders of Clarth. But I'm not certain. I would need to see the symbol for myself.
How many groups have gecko iconography in Sagagesa?
Not many that I know of. But to be sure, I would need to see it. If you can't prove that this is the pin, then I would just say try and learn more about the Wilders of Clarth if you can. However, and then the woman wheels forward in her wheelchair, and she looks to all of you and just says, "Thank you for looking after my boy. It's comforting to know that he wasn't alone when this happened. I'm assuming you are the individuals who were with him when this horrible attack happened."
We were, but most of the credit goes to the Southern Coven, who, in the 11th hour, were able to come to our aid as well.
Wonderful. I'm so glad that he has this new support system. And she kind of gives him the side eye. He was concerned to be the only boy, but he's absolutely fine, and I'm so glad that he has this group of people with him now. I'm so glad he has these sisters.
And
yes, they're a very good lot. Your son is very lucky.
What were you saying, Hannah?
Oh, sisters and a Krieg.
I'm Krieg.
Yes.
I'm not exactly a sister. I'll be Remy's brother. We could probably share clothes. We're about the same size. Oh wait, no, Remy was actually quite a bit taller than Krieg already.
I mean, you could probably make it work if you wanted to. So the night progresses, and Bertrand, Rose, and Violet are spending some time in Haven. The witches are winding down. You're given some items. The witches see to all of your wounds, and they help you recover. And I would imagine that you're able to spend the night and get a good night's sleep. Do you guys want to fast forward to morning? Okay. So throughout the night, you heal, and those of you who have not played Pathfinder before, the way that it works is you heal up to 1 point per level plus your Constitution modifier, and so, or no, times your Constitution modifier. So you should all have 1 extra hit point, yay! But everybody else was also healed back to full by the witches. So just in the future, that's how that works. What's up, Don?
And I was wounded 1 after going unconscious. Does that go away after? I've not actually played much Pathfinder, so I don't know how that condition goes away.
It does. Yeah, it would. Mike, I believe the long rest would cure that, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, so if you heal up to... I believe the different ways are if you heal up to full, if somebody gets a critical success on a medicine check, and I think a full night's rest.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
As the sun comes up in the morning, Remy approaches all of you, and he says, "So, yeah, my grandfather and my grandma, and my mom, we all kind of talked about, like, what my next sorry. I'm trying really hard to play a middle school boy here, and I feel like I'm nailing it if I do say so myself. And he says, yeah, we talked about like what my next steps might be, and my grandfather thinks that, you know, if there are good people around me, like maybe I might be able to go on a little bit of a journey with all of you, because I know you're supposed to go to the Whispering Marshes, and I you know, he wants me to be safe, but he also said that like it might be a really, I think the word he used was formative time for me, you know, as long as I'm safe. And Luluaina promised to like watch over us too. I'm sure she'll talk to you about all of that, but I was just wondering, like, maybe it would be okay if I like join you guys. Would that be all right?
I mean, I think it would be fine. I mean, if
do you guys, sidebar, do you guys think he'd be safer away from Haven anyway?
Well, that's kind of what my mom said. My grandma, she kind of disagreed with her. I'll stop talking, but yeah.
No, you don't have to stop talking. You can be in control of your own destiny here.
And yeah, we saw you in action in the fight. It'd be good for you to get out there and have practical magic.
And he scratches his head and he's like, yeah, I didn't really prepare the right spells for that morning. Yeah, I guess Eska has some other things that he can do, so I'll try to, this morning when I do my prep, I'll change things up a little bit.
I'm okay with it if you guys are.
Absolutely.
Okay. A half-orc girl, along with a gripply boy, and a catfolk girl all approach Remy at one point throughout the morning, and they all give like seeming goodbyes, and they give each other hugs. They also, the half-orc girl steps forward and she hands Remy a compass, and she says, you can probably use this better than I could. I hope it helps, and just stay safe. And Luluaina approaches all of you again. She looks specifically to Shaija, who I believe was the connection that she has the most, she knows the best at this point. She says, the elders have asked me to scout ahead. I'm quite adept at walking through the jungles and exploring. And my elders believe that it might be of use if I try and track down these rangers. And by the way, now she is wearing like breeches rather than like a flowy dress. She has a flowy top as well, and she's wearing her hair in a braid now, with a single flower attached to the top of the braid. And she's carrying what looks to be a messenger bag, and she has she's barefoot at the moment, and she just looks and says, my job will be to scout, and I wanted you to be aware that I will be doing what I can to search for these evil people. I think that we might run into each other again, because we probably will be going in the same direction, at least for a bit. I do move better on my own more quickly, and so I will be working on my own for a bit, but I do hope we'll run into each other again. And then she looks down at Remy and says, be safe, little one. I hope that the Southern Coven can be a home for you for many years to come. And then with that, she begins to walk away. Did anybody want to ask her anything or say goodbye?
Yeah. Do we get a whistle or signal if we need to, like, if we need you?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. And she puts her 2 fingers to her mouth and she whistles. And about 15 seconds later, an albatross dives down from the sky and lands on her shoulder. And she says, "This is my familiar. If I need to contact you, look for the white albatross."
I'm a traveler of the seas. Albatrosses are typically, and he's looking to the others for backup. Typically bad luck, but sure. I'll look. I'm always looking for albatross, and he's a little unnerved.
And she
Craig,
says,
don't worry. Don't worry. If somebody this beautiful it has an albatross, it counteracts the whole thing. It's a sign of good luck, really.
Oh,
Hi, I'm Hannah. Again.
"Oh yes, it's wonderful to meet you again, Hannah." And she holds out her hand and just shakes
Deep bow
your
and a
hand.
kiss.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
no.
no, that was absolutely fine. And she's like, it's a pleasure to meet you as well. And then
Well, if you ever need,
say that again. Say that again, Gwen. Okay, I'm gonna move on. But then when Hannah kisses the hand of Luluaina, Lulua will kind of
I
blush a
can't
little
hear
bit.
anything you guys are saying.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Goodness. Well, we'll do what we can. So the albatross will also kind of puff up a little bit and do like a little, like, with its beak as it's supposedly laughing.
Sorry, I keep freezing.
No worries. We'll make it work. I actually would like to pull up Fantasy Grounds. So I'm going to get rid of our calendar. After, let's change the day to the 17th of Breeze in the year 1105. And here we are. In Saga Gesa. Let's go ahead and share this with our players. Can y'all see that? How are we doing? Y'all okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, currently, you are in Baikisi, around Baikisi, in Bungai. It will take you a full day to make it to the center of the next hex. So, we're going to do a little bit of a hex crawl with this next part. Could I have anybody give me, a knowledge check for the environment, the area, the continent, whatever you think applies? Just tell me what kind of knowledge check you would like to roll.
I think I could just give a
I'm not used to land, so I'm gonna leave us.
same. I can do a basic survival of just like going around the jungly area, but Craig is also more water bound, so he won't be too much help.
Important detail. Luluaina left you with a map.
Okay,
So
I was gonna ask. Okay.
you can see them, right? You can see the map, and you are currently around Baikisi, and what you see is a group of mountains called the Kinderon Mountains, the southern jungle expanse, a city Dramo Ele, a city Ekalofia, the Whispering Marshes further north. Give me any sort of knowledge check that you would like. This could be society. This could be a lore check. It could be potentially survival. Maybe nature.
I was thinking being native to the jungles, just a different jungle. I'd like to do a nature check.
Yeah.
That's a 25 for my nature check.
Okay.
Oh. I'm gonna consult the bag of bones I have, and use occultism.
Sounds good. Nice.
So 20.
Okay. Lishija, Sagafa, and Hannah. You each get different types of information here. Lishija, knowing what you know about Sagagesa, you've heard of a culture living in the mountains. That's about all you know. There is a culture living in the mountains, and now and then they would visit the city of Ekalofia. You don't know much about either of those locations, but the Kinderon Mountains would house that culture. Sagava, your nature check. You would think that going through the jungle, if you are traveling just straight through jungle, no mountains, no rivers, just going through the trees, it's likely that you'll be able to travel relatively quickly, but you would need to orient yourself every day and make sure that you're going in the right direction, make sure that you're moving up to speed, trying to stay on task with the location that you're trying to arrive at, or you're going in the right direction. And let's see. Oh, one other thing that you would know, Lishijia, is that typically only druids, rangers, and maybe some types of witches are going to be people that would travel in the jungle frequently. For that reason, there are not many roads within the actual jungle. Hannah.
Yes.
Can you tell me exactly what you're trying to glean from your occultism check?
Okay, well, Hannah has a small trinket and bag of bones that she was sold to for, she got this for 20 gold from a street peddler, so it's probably just
20
trash.
gold? 20 fucking gold?
Okay, it was a really, really gorgeous witch, and, she'd been drinking a bit. Anyways. Yeah, so she just consults it and it's like a horoscope.
Yeah.
But it tends to, have a more accurate than not reading.
Yeah, and you are able to get quite an accurate reading here from these bones. At least you think it's accurate. You think that the bones are telling you that traveling by the river will be easiest. You also feel as if the bones are telling you that the direction you might want to head in order to be safest would be northeast.
Okay.
What do we want to do as a group?
I've got a good feeling about northeast. By the river, can't you just feel sort of the romance in the air? The jungle breeze?
Well, Well, according to this map here, the river will lead us right to the caves and the mountains, and I think it'd be a lot faster if we just avoided all that terrain and went straight through the jungle.
Have you traveled in the jungle? Like, at least with the river you know where you're going. With the jungle, I was lost in there for half a day when I went after the second thing. Like...
Remy, did I see you get a compass?
Oh yeah. I've got a compass. My friend Roka, she gave it to me. And he kind of puts it out.
Compass?
Well, I think so. Looks at it. Yeah.
Okay. Are there any beasts that are scary in your jungles here?
Oh yeah.
Oh. Okay. So there's that.
I'm not afraid of any beasts. Come on, I'll protect you. I saw Krig had a rough day yesterday, so I've decided I will be your wall. I can't let these beautiful ladies and Krig and Remy be hurt.
I'm so glad you're back. I nearly met my maker. As for what route we take, typically I would say take the river, but I didn't have such a great time making my way up to Baikisi, so I think I'm going, if we're putting this to a vote, I'd prefer to stick to the ground this time around.
I'd like to stick to the rivers and the mountains.
Okay.
Same here. And by the way, your maker, did you meet your parents here, or?
No, the All-Mother. I almost died. When you ran off to get that other ranger person. Oh, you're good.
Remy steps in and he says, "Oh, the All-Mother, yeah. Yeah, cool.
I'm
That's neat."
so sorry. I'm just gonna pick up Krig and hug and just cradle him. It's gonna be okay, buddy. I'm here now. I'm here now.
He will accept it. He's still young-ish. He will, he may not feel very dignified, but no, he's very he slept fine. He slept like a rock, but yeah, he was shaken. So yeah, thank you. That was nice. And he adjusts his belt, adjusts his cape, flings his cape to make sure it's not bunched up. So yeah, alongside the river's fine. If we need to run to safety in the water, is there anything in the water that's scarier than what's in the land? And he's looking at Remy and Sagafa.
All it takes is a hug to get you to flip sides. Okay, that's noted.
As Krig is lifted out of the cauldron starts scrambling at Hannah's legs, and there's this weird slurping sound that echoes from inside the cauldron.
Oh my god.
Hey, Krig, buddy, do you think I should put you back in there? Because I don't feel safe.
I don't know how it's going to do in either the jungle floor or the river, but sure, I'll ride it for some time. I'm scared of it.
Okay.
River?
It looks
River.
like it. That's the majority vote.
All right. Here's how this works. Every hex is 12 miles of travel.
Ah!
And in order to make it through one hex, you need to give me relatively, traveling as a group. Unless you guys want to try and really push your speed here. One hex is about 1 day of consistent walking. And you're going to give me some survival checks in order to sense direction. Near the river, it is easier to sense direction. And so those survival checks are lower than they would be if you were to take the jungle all the way up to El Calafia, or to the Whispering Marshes. The way that I'm doing this, and this is maybe slightly different from the rules as written, but we'll see how it goes. If we need to go back to raw, that's totally fine. Critical success means you are feeling confident, you are moving quickly, and you are fairly safe. And that is your survival check. If you roll a success, you are confident and you are moving quickly. If you roll a fail, you are not confident and you are moving slowly. And if you roll a critical fail, this one I'm excited about, you are confident, you are moving fast, and you are misdirected. So, I would like everybody to give me a survival check for the first day of travel. And,
Oh no.
I have the map, and I'm not letting anyone take it away from me.
Okay.
Craig is in the cauldron, and he got a 16.
Cool.
Hannah miraculously got a 16 as well, and she's rolling the bones every so often. You're like, I feel real good about today.
Cool. So here's how we're going to go with this for now. If we have a critical success or a critical fail, that will determine the group's success. However, if we just have a success or a fail, I'll take the highest number from everybody. So we're only going to use one survival check.
How do we know what the threshold is?
You don't.
Okay, so we don't know if we so we never know when we critically fail. You would know.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, how exciting.
Your first day, you are feeling confident, and you are moving relatively quickly along the water. So I'm assuming, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming that means you're going down this way, and then you're going to go up the next time, up and to the right. First day, yeah, first day goes smooth. As you are traveling through the jungles, everything seems really beautiful. I mean, can I actually get a flat D20 from one person? This is going to be kind of a luck check to determine
I'll do it.
how the night goes.
You just rolled a 2.
Okay.
Twice in a row.
You know how you asked earlier, how would we know if it's a crit fail or not?
So no, things are going well.
Is Jenna rolling? It's a crit fail.
You make it through the first day of travel, and you're able to set up for the night. However, as you start to set up, you're noticing you're having some really just intense difficulty getting this new tent set up. And it does start to rain down on the group before you're able to get your tent set up. Things are just like gross and muddy, and your gear is like uncomfortable. That's kind of where you're at the first night. You wake up the next morning. Does anybody want to do anything, say anything? Anything we're looking out for?
Just a quick scan of any tracks around the campsite area while we were sleeping.
Give me perception.
Okay.
Nice.
Not 20.
Very good. No, there doesn't.
I
seem
really
to be
don't want to
anything.
die. Gotcha. So
Everything
he's spending his time looking, cross-referencing everything he knows of land-dwelling creatures. And okay.
Shall we roll
I
that?
think I'm doing
Go ahead.
I was gonna just do my morning calisthenics, you know, some stretches, seeing if anybody else wants to join. Yeah, you know, you gotta...
Jumping jacks, right in place, lift, love it.
Hey. That looks like so much fun, but I think I'm gonna collect new fresh flowers for my hat brim. It's getting a little wilted, so.
Give me a nature check. And Shaija, did you want to jump in on that too? I saw you kind of step forward.
Zagafa, I'd love to join you and check out some of the plants in this area.
Yeah, we really should stick together. 19 for Zagafa.
Okay.
16 percent.
You are able to find some truly beautiful blue flowers that just strike you as unique to this area. It seems that they're only really growing along the riverbed, and I think you would both be able to identify them as a type of potion or a type of flower that you could grind into a potion. As to what type of potion, you're not sure, but you do know that it is safe to use in mixing certain potions. Yeah.
Can I tell at all whether it would be poisonous to Eska in any way? I don't want to put any flowers in here that would poison poor Eska.
That is a really good question. I think with your 19, you would know that it is safe. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Shaija, do you want to gather some extra for your medicine?
As you turn to say that, you see her shoving some into her bag.
Okay,
yes, I was already...
Right. Okay, yeah.
Nice. Let's get a survival check for the next day. Starting in the morning.
Nice.
Really good start. That's a 21 from Sagafa.
4.
We have a natural 1 from Krieg. No, okay. All right.
I think he's slowed down a lot by the rainwater falling into the cauldron with him. He's kind of in a rain barrel by midday, I think.
It is still
You're
raining.
looking like a soup.
I look like a wet dog. You know how like those big fluffy dogs that as soon as they get wet, they they get super skinny and weird. I think that's me. And yeah, I've been really irritable all morning, all day yesterday, all last night.
Oh.
Well, with the natural 1, I'm sorry, Krieg. You are feeling great about the direction you need the group to go in, and you are just like, yeah, let's do this. So how are you approaching the group with this?
So he pulls out his scimitar.
Okay.
Well, this is a scimitar. He has a rapier. Thank you, Spirit Halloween. And he's kind of leading the charge for a bit. Like he gets the cauldron to like go a little faster downhill, so he's actually not dragging behind, and he's just slashing branches in his way, just like full on, just like this way to victory, and just completely sure of his skills right now.
And as you step 1 foot in front of the other, you're leading the group, or you're in the cauldron, and the cauldron's moving forward. The river kind of goes in and out of sight. You, Creek, you're sure that you're just kind of taking a quick detour. It'll loop back around to the river eventually. And every now and then there is a body of water that comes into view, and then, you know, you walk forward a little bit and that body of water kind of steps away or leaves your view for a little while, until by the end of the day, You realize you have moved slightly deeper into the jungle. I would like a perception check from everyone as night begins to fall.
15.
9.
Noted.
Oh, that's only a 10 for Sugafa.
For Shaija?
Okay. And let's get all of you on our combat tracker. Go ahead and give me your initiative.
I do have a question for you there.
Of course.
So I have keen eyes as a halfling, so that's an add 2 circumstance bonus when using the seek action. Do I add it to this or not?
I believe you do, because you would be looking for things as you are stepping through the forest. And this is, initiative comes up. I would say it's fair of you to use that for initiative. But, Mike, if I'm incorrect, please let me know.
No,
It does only make me a 12, so...
Six. All right, Krieg, what are we looking at for initiative?
We are looking at... I need to move the map. 15.
All right, Hannah, what about you? Can you hear us okay? I'm going to come back to Hannah. Lishijia?
20.
Nice. Shaija?
11.
Sagafa?
12.
Okay. And I need to pull up Remy. Seven. And I believe Hannah, did she roll? No. Well, let's get the other things on the board here, and I'll let you guys know what happens. Those of you who are listening, we're going to wrap things up fairly soon. Thank you for tuning in, but we're going to finish this little intro to our next combat. Before we do that, I have Vishiji on here twice. Right. And here's Krieg. Okay, as you are walking into nightfall, the sun is going down, things are getting a little bit darker. You notice, specifically, let's see, oof, they rolled great. Yikes.
Oh my goodness.
Yikes.
Oh,
Also,
wow.
yikes.
Why though? Why?
I won't have to move far to hit something.
So you're walking in, and I think the first thing that you're all going to notice is when one of you gets attacked. We're going to go ahead and leave it off at that. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you watching. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and close
Ready
off the
for
stream
battle.
for the night. Yeah,
Thanks, everyone.
good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.